With a $1.2 billion opening, Avengers Endgame has already broken at least 144 records. But does it stand to be the biggest movie of all time? Now, Rebecca, you covered the opening weekend for Endgame. You covered Infinity War, you've been covering Avengers, you've been covering Marvel. How big is this $1.2 billion number, just to put it into context?
I don't think anybody was expecting a number like this, and everybody knew it was going to break a ton of records, but it ended up beating the previous global box office record, which was Avengers Infinity War with $640 million, by almost double that. The reason why it was such a big difference is because Avengers Infinity War opened in China 2 weeks later, and I'm willing to bet that Disney worked really hard to get that day and date release across the globe because they wanted that wow factor with the opening weekend for Endgame.
Will that kind of create a slower build as the box office continues for weekend 2, weekend 3, and so on?
I think if the opening weekend of Endgame shows anything, nobody really knows what to expect because the box office is in uncharted territory here. We've never had a movie make this much money this quickly. One caveat with Marvel is this is a movie that people are going to see 2, 3, 4 times in theaters. So even though it made a lot of money in the beginning, I think that it's going to have a lot of steam to carry throughout the summer.
What, at this point, is the biggest movie of all time?
So right now, the record for Endgame to beat is Avatar, and that movie made $2.7 billion worldwide when it came out in December of 2009. And so one of the reasons why it was able to make so much money is because it came out in late December, so it didn't have a lot of competition at the box office. January is typically a slower month. Where Endgame could possibly run into some trouble is it's coming right in the front of summer, and so summer is one of the most crowded times of year for box office, and so it's going to have to compete with movies like Godzilla and Detective Pikachu, some fellow Disney releases like Aladdin and The Lion King.
Now, by the way, the number 2 biggest movie of all time is another James Cameron film. It's Titanic. How much has that made?
And that movie made $2.1 billion. So I think that a lot of box office analysts feel comfortable predicting that it could nab the number 2 spot and knock Titanic down.
What else do you think played into the huge, immense success of opening weekend?
There had been 22 movies over 10 years building up to this point, a decade of fans waiting on bated breath to see the next installment from this comic book universe. And it's one of the very few film franchises that's able to get away with releasing 3 movies in 1 year from the same universe, and all of them are grossing over $1 billion, and that's why it was able to make over $350 million its opening weekend. Every single theater in the country wanted to play this movie. They were playing this movie essentially 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. It's very rare for a movie to have this kind of anticipation, and so I don't know if we'll see a movie like this for a very long time.
Do you think that this huge success will incentivize Marvel to maybe expedite some of their plans?
I think that moving forward, what Marvel's going to be able to do is put the spotlight on some superheroes that didn't have as much attention as the ones who did in the first 3 phases of Marvel movies. And so they've started to do that now with Black Panther and Captain Marvel. And it's weird to think now that at one point those were lesser known characters. People had never heard of Captain Marvel. Now that movie has made over $1 billion. And so they've had constant success showing that they can put the spotlight on characters that people don't know as well, and they'll still be able to make a lot of money. And so I think moving forward, they're going to be able to have a more inclusive bunch of heroes that they're putting on the big screen, and audiences are still going to want to come out to see it.